Hello, so some of you may know that I'm going to be running a studio sale. For this little video I'd talk through some of the pieces that I've got on sale and a little bit behind the stories behind them and explain a bit more about the collections really. So without further ado, let's start with this year's work. So this one, as you may know, I do a lot of horse sculptures, and why I really quite like it is I really like to be able to celebrate the connection between like man and animal, so like the mankind. So on this piece wise, I like the idea of wanting to show that connection between like the mankind and the horse. So like the hand here to kind of show that connection, that bond. So this is what this series is about. So like, I've got this one as well. Again, showing a bit more involving more of a figure in this one. I want to elaborate further, so I thought it'd be interesting to have that connection where you have that connection where you meet a horse. Like I always find that it's like a nice, you have that weird soulful kind of connection, and I was trying to illustrate that in with the posture and that connection. And I'd love to do a sculpture in this one day. That's the next one. And then obviously being inspired by, this is a rough idea of Lady Godiva. I've done a little sculpture of this one, a small one of this, and I want to do a bigger version in a full scale version, which I'm planning to hopefully do. That's my big long-term project. But really, it's cool. I love the story of Lady Godiva, so that's why I had to. So this is my draft for the sculpture. So this was like we working out where roughly the panels I want them to go, to just kind of get the essence of what I want to show. And then this one is again playing on the connection between horses and mankind. I kind of want to show the confrontation a little bit, like show that the power that horses have, and show like how they are such big in scale, and I find it amazing that these big creatures like trust in us. So it's kind of like just trying to show the scale really and show how powerful they are. So that, and then final one in the horses and humans connection, I'd say, is this piece. Play around with the more actiony shot. So this is what that one is kind of about. This is play around a little bit in with coffee for the first time. Coffee and charcoal and bits of pencil really. Playing around with a different way of illustrating what I wanted to, my ideas down. I wanted to do some more figurative work. So these are like some figurative studies and like how I would go about capturing more figurative in the way I'd go about it in my kind of style, where I like capture the essence of the figure. So I wanted to try and thought maybe to begin with be more anatomically correct. So it's a bit like a life drawing. So this is a life nude at the moment, and so understanding where I would do it. So this is my maybe thought where I had to go wise to kind of show my skill set that I can do this. So this is what this was, kind of like playing around with this kind of concept really. And this is in pencil and charcoal and pastels, which is still kind of my comfort zone at this point. So like this, and then I moved up again, went up scale and went a bit bigger. So again, this is like a real model that I worked out where I would put my style if I could make this in sculpture. I work out where this is how I would go about doing it, which was a really fun challenge. But I wanted to kind of push myself. It was fun, but I kept thinking, could I be a bit more expressive? Could I be a bit more looser and not be as controlled? And so I kind of moved on. Expressive ways of doing it, so I thought I'd just focus on being more loose and just going where I think I'd roughly want the kind of pieces and be a bit more expressive. I think with figures I feel like you could kind of go with that. You could go and be a bit more forgiving, you could just go and be a bit more play around, so I really felt I had a bit more space. I could do that. So this is me just playing around with forms of the body. So you've got a few more like this. So again, I'm like kind of like trying to play around with just being expressive with the body and seeing just, I wanted to see just to try and have more fun with it and try and just play around and see potential forms for sculptures in the future. So this is all just kind of rough, me playing around, just kind of work out all the shapes and stuff, I was really just trying to enjoy what I could do. Really. So it's quite fun. These are really quite liberating. These sketches. Really quite enjoy doing these. Like this one again, playing around with pencil and form, and really quite liked as well with this one. I was having a rough background, I like going crazy with the colours, and then going on with the form. It kind of makes it adds another little dimension to it. Kind of like instead of having just a big white canvas, I was like, let's just get some colour on there, and then do the form from that. I started to get a bit more serious. I say serious. I started to be a bit more go in depth with the form. I wanted to kind of like really this, because this whole piece basically is about trying to say you're carrying a piece of yourself of body, like carrying the world kind of thing. It was kind of trying to be more with the body, show more storytelling and try and get more of a narrative going than just playing around with forms. So I was really trying to show the body like under strain and like it's like the turmoil it's kind of going through. So I was trying to convey that through my style. And this one's another favourite. I've done this a few times, well, on paper and painting. I really quite like the form, and I wanted to make a sculpture of this where it's actually rocking. So it's kind of like going to be called the pendulating woman. The idea was like the idea. I'm obsessed with balances. I really like trying to illustrate balance. Like I always think there's so many things be sorted out if everything was more balanced in the world. So I like to try and illustrate that. So that's what this kind of form idea is meant to be, like the balancing. So it would rock. The sculpture, when I get round to it, would rock and pendulate. And so yeah, I just really loved. Yeah, I really quite like it. It's very expressive. I just really quite like the form of it. Like it's expressive. So yeah, that's one of big personal favourite of mine, that one. So I moved on to wanting to kind of like get out of my comfort zone a little bit with where I illustrated the figures. So this is me playing around a bit more, trying to have more depth, like more life. I was trying to get more, do it a bit differently, make it more alive really, but also expressive. So I saw some people playing around with coffee and then mixed media a little bit. So this has got paint on it, a bit of charcoal, a bit of pencil, and even coffee in it as well. And I wanted to try and just be a bit more on the edge of it, almost like you just expressively done it, like you're just getting the essence of it, which I find quite difficult. It's kind of trying to like free yourself up a little bit and not be so controlled, but it'll almost look effortless. So I've seen some people, other artists I look up to who can just quickly capture a real life person and real life like colours and of the skin tones, can capture like that instant essence. I'm always trying to capture that moment. So this is me trying to play around in this style really. I'm trying to capture a bit more. So I did a male person, so I thought I'd try and do a female form. And this one I really love the composition of this one. When the idea is like she's got wings is the idea, it's like she's like an angel is the kind of idea. And I'd love to do a sculpture of this one day, but it was fun just for the form itself. And I quite liked having a blue background to kind of like make it pop. But yeah, I feel like I still need to explore more with this kind of rougher style. I've always loved turquoise. I love like turquoise and reds. I always feel they work together nicely. It's maybe just really quite like very simple really. I feel like it's a bit naive really. It's just the primary colours. I'm really quite drawn to them. It feels like it's an easy quick go-to. So I'm trying to pull myself away from it, but I always feel like you can quite easily make a piece look rich by having a bit of turquoise in there. I think that's why maybe it's my little guilty pleasure, is to have a little bit of turquoise in. So this one took me maybe like a few hours, I'd say, just to. But I want to be a little bit quicker really. Cause I think it's knowing when to stop as well. Because I think you can keep going and going and going. I think that's it's probably a lot of artists' issue, but it's the difficulty is when to stop and when just be enough. Because sometimes when you do something really quickly, I feel like I'm almost cheating the system, thinking, oh, I did that really quickly. Oh, was that allowed? But we've got to realise you can do whatever, can't you? It can be stopped whenever. So speaking of primary colours, this piece, I think one reason why I do primary colours is I make sculptures out of car panels, which is a very vibrant colour very vibrant colour panels, and so this is why I want to do this as like a little test to see what it looked like in sculpture if I did it out of car panels. So this is what I was doing here. I was kind of like putting these colours together because I like to, with the car panels, I think they look really good if you have lots of multicolour panels together, and it's like more of like a celebration of the piece. I think it works really well, but it's quite difficult is when you're making a piece is to understand what that colour works well with this colour, this works with this colour. So this is why it's quite handy to do little paintings, little drawings like this to kind of think what colours work best together. But sometimes the fallback is use your primary colours, you know, your yellows, blues and red. They all just can't work together well. But so sometimes I want to try and, it's a safety zone again, so sometimes I do wish I could be a bit more bold and just maybe just focus on like a different kind of colour palette and not have to go as bold all the time. So yeah, that's something for the future. But yeah, that's what this one was. So this is the idea of playing on. I always quite love mandolins. I always loved the idea. I did small paintings in the past about the mandolin and the woman. Wise, I kind of like that idea. Like that was her muse. That's their art story. Is the yeah. Anyway. And then final one, because it's a favourite of my wife's favourite, which is Toro's Sorrow. So this piece is I did when I was going through a tough time about a year ago. Sadly, I lost my best furry friend, and I thought I was also going through a tough time grief-wise, and I realised I could use my art to help get me through grief. And so it made me kind of think about even animals having, what if they go through similar situations. So I thought about a bull. I thought about Toro's Sorrow. So that's why it's called obviously Toro and his sorrow. And I thought it'd be interesting to see that confrontation. Also have a few little ink drawings I've been doing, and these have been really fun little sketches I've been doing. Just little playful, very freeing kind of drawings, just to kind of get ideas and just play around with forms really. These obviously this is a studio sale, and all the pieces are original, and so it's a great chance to get an original artwork for me. On my newsletter, people who are on my newsletter get first access to see the works, and the next day I'll be uploading it on my social media channels, so you can see them on there. Then there's many more on there, so do check them out.